P-H-A, YUVA, P-H-A, YUVA, P-H-A, YUVA, P-H-A, YUVA.
Mr. Niranjan, sir, over to you. Exactly 10 minutes, sir, because people are very, very hungry. Before they eat me, we will send them for the lunch. So we have with us Mr. Niranjan, founder of Isomo on sustainability again. You want to use it?
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Where's the page down?
Yeah. Just,
Take it forward.
yeah, just also.
I'll use this one. Yeah.
Can I take this?
No, I'll take it. Yeah. Jule. Jule is a greeting form from Ladakh. I'm sure most of you don't know, but today you learnt a new terminology. This one?
Center. Right here.
Oh, yeah, okay. We must look for that which we have been trained not to see. I think you might have seen this picture before, but for those of you who have not seen this picture, quickly tell me what you see in this picture. You have to give the answers very quickly because I got only 10 minutes here. What do you see in this picture? Raise your hand. Old lady, okay. A young girl, okay. Both the answers are right, but I was looking to hear an answer where somebody says, I can see an old lady and young lady. And that's the kind of perceptual skills that you need to develop in order to address sustainable development. Can you hear some alarming bell? Can you hear? Yes or no? No? Okay, now let me rephrase my question. Can you hear the alarming bells of climate change? I don't think so. We are still hearing because we are still not connecting and working and reducing our resource consumption, as I gave the example to the gentleman from BIAL. And what does this climate change mean for our business? Let's start from our personal lifestyle. If you're a rice eater, you'll have to migrate to wheat. If you're a wheat eater, you'll have to migrate to millet. Why? Because rice, as you know, consumes a lot of water, wheat consumes less, and millet consumes much lesser water than that. In addition to that, from our industry perspective, agriculture is already being impacted. We are paying 120 or 170 rupees for a kilo of tomato. We have experienced that recently. And if we do not focus on our supply chain and add value to the farmers, our business will be disrupted. Now, this is a very detailed subject. I don't want to go into details of it. I'm just giving you the broad highlights. And water is a big, big challenge. And there's enough data in the public domain. And India is in the red, as you can see from this particular chart. So I'm going to quickly run through these documents and share with you that our monsoon is very unique, but in the last few years become disrupted. We used to get 3 months of consistent monsoons in the 80s, 70s, and early 90s. But now it comes in great flood form, floods our cities, and then there is no water. So we have drought and no water situation in many parts of the country. So we have to understand the nexus between energy and water. And we have to understand that our forests are standing dams. Nature has given us dams, but we are knocking off our forest at such a horrendous rate that we are having the kind of crisis that we are facing today. Because dams absorb the water very gently and release it throughout the year. But when the forests are not there, the forests lose their ability to give you water throughout the year. And as you can see from this chart, we have only about 28 trees per person in this country. And therefore, please get in the habit of planting trees wherever possible. Don't tell me that I don't have a garden. You might be having a friend who has a garden. Do it in their land. Now, this picture was used in the Incredible India campaign in 2008. Very beautiful pictures. You like this picture? Beautiful? Raise your hand. Beautiful picture? I see many people are not raising their hands. Though, is it a beautiful picture? Yes or no? Okay, I heard majority of saying yes. Uh, would you like your mother or your sister to collect water like this? So, my friends in the hospitality industry, let's start thinking about stakeholders who do not have the luxury of water the way we have. We sit on the throne every morning and we use A category water for a C category need, right? And we need to rethink how we use water. And since I'm talking to housekeeping staff, why do we have two services in the hotels? I think we should disband the evening service. It should be only on request because people just waste water. The housekeeping staff presses the flush to show that yes, they've done the work, but we are wasting water. And we must realize that thanks to climate change, women in rural India who used to walk 1 kilometer for water are now walking 4 kilometers. And unfortunately, the male species like me do not do this work. If they were doing this work, they would be more mindful of the way we manage water. Now, we have to become very smart with water management. And how do you make multiple uses of that? Today, I was happy to hear that sewage treated water is being used for gardening, which is an old hat, and slowly now it's being used for flushing. But we have to see how do we find more uses for that water by enhancing the quality of that. And again, a quick game out here. How many uses of the water are being made in this picture? Very quickly. How many uses? Somebody said 3. 5, absolutely right. Give me a chocolate, I don't have it. Now, people have voiced their concern about water, but I visit many catering colleges and hotels. Barring 1 or 2 chains, this will fill up the water and give it to you. And you may not be thirsty. And I'm sure if I come to your house, all of you will give me a glass of water. Am I right? Yes. And you'll give me a full glass of water, right? Come to my house, I'll bring a small glass, I'll bring a bottle and ask you small peg or large peg. I'm glad you're laughing because I want the conversation now to veer to a scarcity pricing. Scarcity value pricing is not talked about in colleges. We have to rethink, do we need tablecloths for these conferences? I know they're using tablecloth over here because if you lift the tablecloth, it's a hired table and it's not a good looking table. How do hotels invest in good tables which can be without tablecloths? Because you're enhancing the water footprint of this conference by the tablecloth and that white piece of cloth lying on your chair. The time for such luxuries is poyachi. In Tamil, I'll say is gone. So, will you promise today that from today onwards you will educate your family and you yourself will consume water only if you're thirsty? Otherwise, you'll ask people. Because if you don't know the thirst quotient of people, you're unnecessarily wasting water. And in India, if you do a back of the envelope calculation, we are wasting 200 crore liters of unconsumed water every day. And we say there's a shortage of water. I'm sorry, there's a shortage of imagination. And we in our industry need to look at all these issues very, very empathetically to see how my wastage impacts that lady who's carrying 12 liters of water. I want you to become deep thinkers. I want you to hit the road in the hotels and come out with fresh ideas. Let's go to the bar now. We make a drink and we put 8 or 9 cubes of ice. And what happens? I'm a drunkard, I had my drink, and the 8 cubes of ice are there. The 8 cubes of ice is water and energy thrown down the drain. And we say we are short of energy. So when you do the calculations on a global level, the figures will be very, very exciting. I'm sure Mr. Sudhakar will do some calculations and send me those figures. So, how much water is required per person per day? Anybody? Quickly. Who said 4 liters? Stand up, stand up, stand up. Who said 4? Who said 8? Stand up. Oh, you. Okay. You. Okay. Anybody else? 2 liters. 2. 200 liters. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody said 4, somebody said 2. Sorry. Okay, now since we don't have time, we'll go straight to the figures. As per WHO, we need 135 liters per person per day. I disagree with this figure. I disagree because I was handling a housing project in Delhi where I was made the president midway, and I looked at the water infrastructure first. I found that the original plan was to put a single flushing system. I said, no, we are going to put a dual flushing system. I'm sure most of you know what is dual flushing system, small job and big job, right? And I'm talking of 2002. And then we put up an ETP plant, and we put drip irrigation every balcony so that the lady of the house or whoever waters the garden doesn't have to go from pot to pot. A small tap is open, and you can take care of that. Were my colleagues happy with the decision in 2002 with increased cost? Yes or no? No. Okay. So what did I do to engage with them? I told them that, look, today the cost of water is only 18 paisa per kiloliter. But it's not going to be 18 paisa per kilometer for a long time. And if we do not do life cycle analysis and life cycle cost, you, when you retire, will be paying more for your maintenance. Well, nobody agreed. Then it was a voluntary job, so I said, here's my resignation letter, you sit, I'm going. And people kind of backed out. It's not a very nice work to do in a housing society. They let me be. But in 2004, when our project was complete, we found that in summer, there was a mirror image of our complex, which was consuming 20 trucks of water, and we were buying only 5 trucks of water. And then people realized the value of water. Right? And there are many such examples, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to get into that. And our business is designed for waste. So you have great opportunity to tell your professors in your campus itself, boss, I think we need to get rid of these practices. Okay? You'll get a rap on your knuckle. They'll say, no, this is what the industry wants. Well, let's change the industry. Nothing is cast in stone. Right? And it pains me that we are wallowing in water, and one woman is walking, I don't know how many kilometers water. It's a very painful picture. And similarly, we have to get rid of grass. Grass is extremely water thirsty. We have to think of drier methods of having landscaping. The wonderful toilet paper that we adopted so happily from the West consumes 140 liters of water to make it, requires 1.3 kilowatt of energy and a whole lot of chemicals, and it can cause colonoscopy according to some video that one has seen on the... And the solution is so simple. We have water faucets. Let's use water faucets. Maybe BIL will also get rid of the toilet paper in the toilets of the airport. So I've given you an example of this, that just one change in the bathroom results in 40 liters saving for one person because of the dual flushing system. Way back in 2016, I started a small initiative to address the malnutrition problem of the country. 75% of the people are malnourished. I had taken a 2-day session for the hearing and speech impaired in Koppal. And then I told this NGO, look, Government of India cannot do everything. Why don't you start a bank of nutrition? So he said, what do you mean? I said, you give these poor villagers a moringa, papaya, goa, lime, and a gooseberry sapling. And those fruits are for them. They'll grow it behind their house, and that'll improve their nutritional profile and their children's mental abilities too. So it started with one village, went to 6, and there was a hard stop. So these are some pictures of that. Oh, sorry. So then in 2020, I found an NGO who was taking care of poor children's education in villages in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. And I told him, Paritosh, you're taking care of the nutrition of the mind, but you're not taking care of the nutrition of the body, because they're poor kids, they must be malnourished. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I've not seen the kids. He said, yes, you are absolutely right. So then I told him, start Bank of Nutrition. And I said, I want the kids to be involved. I want them to make the pits in their homes before the onset of monsoon and give them the saplings which I mentioned to you earlier so that we raise the nutritional profile of the whole family. And at a young age, the kids are connecting with water and climate change. So another initiative that we started was, we started putting ponds in each poor farmer's land. The farmer has to allocate 5% of the land for a pond. And 20,000 rupees raised from donors, and the pond is put up, because if the pond is not there, he or she is going to be suffering on account of climate change. So we are making them climate resilient. So when the first two farms were being made in Tumkur, all the farmers, like you, were all around there. There's no rain over here. These guys are making a pond. But luckily last year, it rained so heavily that these two ponds got filled up in 2 days. And next 2-3 weeks, 38 more farmers started the pond. And today is spreading to another 80 farms. 80 farms is nothing in a country of our size. But what we're trying to do is we are trying to create a proof of concept. Thereafter, if Sudhakar wants to do it in his farm, so be it. And these are the opportunities which the large organizations sitting here are not leveraging as yet. Here, picture of those. So we are dancing with complexity. So what's wrong with picture? Or what's right with this picture? Quickly.
Is it eating plastic? Cloth?
Absolutely. The amount of plastic that we use is horrendous. Only 9% of the plastic is being recycled all over the world. So there's a lot of talk, but we need to walk the talk, and it has to begin from your own home. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
May we now request Dr. Rachana Chandan, Assistant Professor, Banarasi Chandiwala Institute of Hotel Management and editor of K Infozine Pecha, to kindly felicitate all the Pecha Kucha experts.
I request all the experts to join on the stage. Ms. Babita, Mr. Shivakumar, Mr. Ranajit, please join on the stage. All the YUVA, be ready in the count of 1, 2, 3. You will be going for lunch after a group picture. So relax yourself. Come on. Just, yeah. All 4 of you can stand here. All the PHA YUVA are requested to stand up. Stand up. Yeah. Give a big round of applause. Felicitation of Mr. Ranajit.
YUVA, PHA, YUVA. Let's sound for the PHA. You are welcome home for people.
Thank you, everyone. I request all the resource persons to be seated.